You searched me, Lord, and you know me. You know when I sit and when I rise. You perceive my thoughts from afar. You discern my going out and my lying down. You are familiar with all my ways. Before a word is on my tongue, you, Lord, know it completely. You hem me in behind and before, and you lay your hand upon me. Such knowledge is too wonderful for me, too lofty for me to attain. Where can I go from your spirit? Where can I flee from your presence? If I go up to the heavens, you are there. If I make my bed in the depths, you are there. If I rise on the wings of the dawn, if I settle on the far side of the sea, even there your hand will guide me. Your right hand will hold me fast. If I say, surely the darkness will hide me, and the night become around me, even the darkness will not be dark to you. The night will shine like the day, for darkness is as light to you. For you created my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well. My frame was not hidden from you when I was made in the secret place. When I was woven together in the depths of the earth, your eyes saw my unformed body. All the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be. Search me, God, and know my heart. Test me and know my various thoughts. See if there is any offensive way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting. Have you ever noticed that in darkness, our eyes are strained? That they are searching for something, anything familiar, an object or a face, something that we know? Darkness is uncomfortable and unknown. We need a small glimpse of certainty in the vast uncertainty of darkness. We are drawn to the light. Most times darkness represents evil, but sometimes it is the place where God revives our hurting heart. Rather than try to flee from darkness to find God, why don't we embrace darkness as the place to meet God? God knows your every deliberate sin, your every stubborn turning away, your every desperate moment, your every unmet hope. God knows your every cynical thought toward him, your every crippling fear, your every lonely moment, your every overwhelming crisis, your every despair, your every feeling of rejection. He knows us and loves us, every part of us, even in the darkness. So let's let him meet us there. Josh Ross says, God-induced darkness may be God's way of slowing you down, releasing you from unnecessary burdens, and creating an atmosphere where we can slowly examine and transform your heart into something that reflects his divine nature. It is through trials that we learn our true character. We find out who we really are. In the same way, it is often in our darkest times that we learn what is important to us. This is where we grow our roots, where experience teaches us how we feel about things we haven't had to think about yet, where abstract problems become a reality, where we see where everyone else is going, and where we can have the courage to go a different way, where we see what is right with our conscience and puts your heart and mind at ease, at peace. Darkness is not always a bad thing, After all, often do we not truly understand what love is until we've learned what love is not. We don't always know compassion until we have experienced suffering. We cannot always know true joy until we have experienced great sorrow. And it is in vulnerability that we find connection. Once you've been in the dark, you appreciate everything that shines. It's easy to trust God in the light, but have you trusted Him in the darkness? Some of you are in the dark today. You feel alone and rejected or betrayed. Your future seems uncertain, especially in college, and you don't know where to turn. Some of you seem to shine in the light, and other people think that you shine in the light, but there are pieces of you hiding in the dark. Some of you have not experienced darkness yet, but it will come. So have you grown your roots yet? Do you know who you are? Do you know what you stand for? Do you have the integrity to act on what you believe? Are you acting in a way that God has called us to? And what are you anchored to? These are the things that will be tested when the storms hit. Rather than fear it or try to flee from it, I urge you to trust God in the darkness. Develop a rhythm in your everyday life in which you choose to search for the light. Embrace the opportunity to be uncomfortable, just like you've heard all year, to be uncomfortable. To grow roots, to expand your heart, and listen to what God may be trying to teach you. Do you need to slow down? A lot of us need to slow down. Do you need to just listen to the promptings of your heart? God is there with us in the darkness, if only we learn to search for Him, to listen to Him. Use discernment to be attentive to God. Practice receiving the love of God. Practice it. Become familiar with God's voice. God's will be revealed to us if we choose to listen, if we choose to be drawn to the light. It is inevitable that in darkness, you will become more aware of places in us where we are not like Christ. It's in these ways that we often feel ashamed and feel like we need to hide. But Psalm 139 tells us that God has already searched us and already knows us through and through. In darkness, we become more aware of the unconditional love that we need. We need the unconditional love. The good news is that God is ready and He's waiting. There is nothing that you can do, nothing that God knows about you, and no place that you can go where you are beyond His presence. He is with you even in the darkness. You will go through hard times. Make it worth something. Listen to God and let Him transform your heart in those dark moments. Thank you.